On October 6, OpenAI launches AgentKit, a set of tools which can be used by the developers and enterprises to create, deploy, and optimize agents. As you can see in the screen, with AgentKit, it comes with three things. One is called the Agent Builder, which is basically a visual canvas for creating, versioning multi-agent workflows. Connector registry, a central place for admins to manage how data and tool connects across OpenAI products, and ChatKit, which is the third one, a toolkit for embedding customizable chat-based agent experience in your product. So these are the three things which comes under AgentKit. And today's video is all about Agent Builder. So without any further delay, let's go and explore Agent Builder. To access Agent Builder, all you need to do in your browser URL, you need to type platform.openai.com/agent builder, and then this screen will appear. So on the right side, you will find multiple options: create chat, agent builder, audio, images, assistant. So all you need to do, you need to click on the agent builder, and then this is a page that will appear on your screen. So this is a place where you will be creating your workflow. There are a couple of workflows which are already given, but in this video, I am going to show you how you can create a workflow starting from scratch. To build your first workflow, all you need to do, you need to click on this create button. So once you do that, this is a page will appear. These are called the individual node. Each workflow will start with a node called start node. So let me delete that and we will do it from here. So this is a start node. This start node, whatever you will put in the chat, that will be stored inside this input variable, and the variable name is input as text. You can define other variables like other state variables of type string, number, boolean, object, and list. But for the simplicity of this demo, I will continue with a string variable with the name of input as text. Okay, with that, I'll build my first agent. And I'm going to give the name as classifier agent. And I'm going to connect this with this. So in the classifier agent, I am going to put the instruction what my classifier agent is supposed to do. So in the instruction, I'll put that you are a helpful classifier assistant and your job is to understand the context, which is basically this context which is coming from the start node, and categorize into below three categories. So now I need to put the below three categories which can be categorized by this classifier agent. So for that, I'll modify this output format. So in here, instead of text, I'll put in JSON, and here I will bring this schema, and here it will be response schema, and here it will be add property. Under this one, I will type query, and here I'll select enum and give different options. So here I'll put different options which will be used to do the classification of the query that is coming from the user. So first is weather, enter, and next one is flight and itinerary. So these are the three classification that my flow will suggest, and let me click on update. Okay, perfect. Now let's test that. So I'll click on preview, and let's say what is today's weather in Toronto. So my classifier agent is running now, and let's see what my classifier agent is telling. So this was a query, and this classifier agent actually classified this query of type weather. So now let me type another query. Can you please provide me 7-day travel plan for Zurich? Let's see what my classifier agent will do now. It's running, and now this time it actually classified as type of itinerary. And now let's, can you please provide me the flight option between Zurich and India, Zurich and Delhi. So now again my classifier agent is running, and what is telling this time the query is of type flight. So classifier agent is successfully configured and it is able to classify the input into 3 different categories. Either it will be a weather, or it will be itinerary, or it will be a flight. So with that, let's continue building our next step in the workflow. For that, I'll bring the if-else logic and connect this here. So the first one is weather. I'm just giving the name, and here output parsed query equals to weather. So all I'm doing, if the classifier agent output is of type weather, flight, or itinerary. So that's what I'm doing here. I'll put the else, which is itinerary, and here again I'll put this equals to perfect, and then there will be the third option, which is flight, equals to flight. So these are the 3 options. Either it will be weather, itinerary, or flight, based on the values we are putting here. Itinerary. Okay, so now for each of this I'll put different agent. So now let's bring my first agent for weather. This is going to be my weather agent, and it will connect from here to here. Let's bring another agent, which is going to be my itinerary agent, and that will be connected from here to here. And then my last agent, which is going to be my flight agent, and which will connect from here to here. So that's what my flow is looking. It will start from here. Classifier agent is going to classify the user's query into 3 different categories, either weather, itinerary, or flight. This is the if-else logic. Based on the classification, either my weather agent will be called, or my itinerary agent will be called, or my flight agent will be called, and they will perform different tasks. So let's configure my weather agent. For the weather agent to work, I need to give the instruction here. So all I'm doing is that I'm giving the instruction in the weather agent. It will be a long prompt. I'll put that in the description of this YouTube video so that you can copy paste that. And then here I am telling it's going to use the GPT-5. Everything looks good. In the tools, I'm going to tell it can do the web search to get the answer. And here I'm selecting add web search. That is good. And the output format remains as text. So this looks good. So this is how I'm going to configure my weather agent. Now let's configure the itinerary agent. Again, for that, I'm going to put, this is the instruction. Again, it's a big instruction. I'll put the instruction in the description of this video. And here I'm going to use the GPT-5 model, but you have all the options which you can choose from. So for the time being, I'm going to use the GPT-5 model, and in the tools, I'm going to give the access to the web search. And again, the output will be text, but there are multiple options, either JSON or widget. But for the time being, I'm continuing with the text option. And the last one is a flight agent. For that, the instruction is here. Again, I'll put that in the description of this video. And GPT-5, same thing in the tools. There are multiple options. You can use MCP server, file search, web search, code interpreter, but I'm going to use the web search. And that's how my workflow is ready. So let's review that. It will start from here. This is a start node. And this is a classifier agent which actually classifies the user's query into 3 different categories, either weather, itinerary, or flight. Now this is the if-else logic, which is basically doing a comparison. What is the classification result is? What is the result that is coming out from this node? Depending on that, if it's a weather, then this weather agent will be called. If it is itinerary, then the itinerary agent will be called. If it is flight, then the flight agent will be called. So let's test this flow. Now, in order to test the flow, all we need to do, we need to click on the preview option. And here in the send message, let's type this message. What is the weather looking like in Toronto? Now it looks like my classifier agent is running. It identified correctly. It's a weather type of query. So now my weather agent is running and it looks like it is fetching weather data. It is doing the search in the web. So far so good. I can see the reasoning. It is doing the search. It is trying to find, first it try to fetch the weather data and then try to fetch the weather alert if there is anything or weather alert present for Toronto. It is doing the search, web search, and very soon it will present the data. And as you can see, this node is currently running because the query is all about weather. It now is trying to gather the weather updates for Toronto. So three things. First, fetch the weather data, then fetch the weather alert if there is anything present for Toronto, and then gathering the weather updates. For all these three tasks, this agent is actually searching in the web because we gave the permission to do the web search. And finding a reliable weather source. For that also, it is again doing a web search. Very soon it will present the result. Formatting the weather forecast, and look, this is the result. 24-hour weather forecast for Toronto. This is how it looks like. Next 24 hours, it will look like this. Weather alert, there is none in the effect right now. And also, if you see the source option, it will tell from which source it actually took the data and present the data to you. So far, so good. So let's see how this agent will behave when there is a itinerary type of query. So let's close the preview. So this time I'm going to put the message. Could you please provide a 7-day travel itinerary for Japan? I'll be traveling with a toddler beginning on November. I'd like to cover Tokyo, Osaka, and Fuji. I haven't booked my flight yet. So let's see how this agent will behave. Immediately classifier agent started. Is actually trying to categorize. Okay, it correctly categorizes it's a type of itinerary. And now my itinerary agent is running and is creating the travel itinerary. Looks like it's planning a toddler friendly itinerary because I told like I'll be traveling with a toddler. It's drafting the itinerary details, finalizing itinerary options, drafting itinerary for Japan, and here comes the result. Your personalized itinerary for Japan, Tokyo, Fuji, and Osaka. That's what I told. These are the three cities which I want to visit, and basically this is the way it came. It looks really cool because it now gives the option what I should do in day 1, day 2, day 3, and it's still generating day 4. This is day 5. Sounds good. So cool. And day 6, day 7. It also gave some dining suggestion, getting around time, what are the transit, what are the date duration, all these things, where to stay. Wow. And finally, the toddler friendly tips. What are the baby room stroller? And also it gave some flight and rail booking notes also. What are the different flights? Then, yeah, it looks really cool. I just asked this one simple question. Give me a 7-day itinerary. I'll be traveling with a toddler. I haven't booked my flight yet. It not only gave me the 7-day itinerary, it optimized based on my input, which cities I want to visit. I'm traveling with a toddler, so plan has to be a toddler friendly. And since I haven't booked my flight, so what are the different flight options? So finally, it gave me a full comprehensive result back. So I think this agent is done a great job. Okay, with that, time to test the flight agent. This time I'm telling, provide me a one-way flight details for one passenger between Toronto and Zurich on December 1st, 2025 in business class. I don't have any preferred time window. So let's see how my agent will behave now. Okay, classifier agent is running. And it's a type of flight. So my flight agent is running now. Let's see. Verifying the flight details. Search the web. Searching for the business class fare because I told in my query that I want to travel in a business class. And is actually trying to list all the flight details. And you can see here, I can provide at least 2 non-stop, but should also mention that many one-stop options exist. I didn't mention that whether I want a non-stop or a one-stop or multiple stop. Okay, it's compiling the result, gathering business card prices. Okay, so it's not only giving me the itinerary, it's giving me the price also. Okay, creating the flight itinerary options. And now it's trying to do creating the final response. And this is the final response. So what it's telling is that if you see the response, this is a one-way flight from to Zurich on Monday. So it took the date correctly, perfect, at what time it's arriving. So Swiss Air non-stop departs at, arrives Zurich at this time. It took 7 hours of time, operates on Monday, business class available. Okay, and this is the link. So what will happen if I click on this link? Let's see. Wow, the link is actually taking me to the place where I can see that. That sounds really cool. Okay. Here Canada, there is another option, which is this one. And then here is another link. So let's open this link. And it also takes me to the correct page. I don't need to do the search and everything is already being done. Perfect. There are multiple one-stop options available and the price and the notes. So yeah, looks like whatever information I'm looking for, just this agent is able to compile all the information and give it back to me. So I'm very happy with the performance of this agent. So that's how you can build this agent, which is doing multiple tasks in a very short amount of time using the agent builder from OpenAI. One thing I want to show you also, there is an option called Guardrail. So if you bring the guardrail, is basically before your query goes further to do anything, you can do a guardrail what the query is all about. If the query is about some PI information, like you are asking someone's name, or in your query you are giving some email addresses, right, or some person's name, those things will consider as a PI information and you can block the query to go further. For example, if you configure guardrail and we can tell PII data, and here in the PII data, I can say person's name, person's number, person email address. These are the PII data, credit card information, all this thing. And then what I can do is I will cancel this line and I'll pass it from here. If it is passed, then only the classifier agent will go. So now let's test that. So preview, and here, can you please send travel plan for Zurich to test@test.com. So this time in my query, I add a email address. So let's see how my guardrail will save me. So it's going to the guardrail, and guardrail is telling, yeah, if you can see here, it's telling the PII data has been detected email address, so it will not proceed further. Same way, I can say, can you please send the travel plan to a person's name? Let's say my name. Let's see. Again, it's telling that a person has been detected, so guardrail will not allow to proceed further. So this is a very powerful tool, because when you build the agent workflow, this guardrail will tell you what is the input that is coming from the user, and if the input contains any kind of PII data, you can configure this code which will block the data to proceed further. And you can basically tell your customer that we cannot serve you because the query that you are asking contains some PII data. So in the guardrail, you can configure the PII information, and there are multiple PII information: location, IP addresses, nationality, medical license number. For UK, the national insurance number, right? For Spain, some Spanish NIF number. So if those things are present inside the user query, then Guardrail will be able to save you and will not allow that query to proceed further. there are jailbreak option, there is a moderation option, hallucination. These are the multiple things that you can configure in Guardrail. And this is a very powerful tool. I always recommend before you build any kind of workflow, use that Guardrail. Make sure you are only doing the query or you are only proceeding with this workflow until unless your Guardrail actually passes the query. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you can understand how easily you can build a very powerful agent workflow using OpenAI's Agent Builder. N8N is already a very powerful tool to build your automation. I have multiple videos in my YouTube channel where I've shown like how easily you can use N8N to build workflows. I think this agent workflow has the potential to compete with N8N, but at this point of time, it's in a very early stage. I'm quite sure OpenAI will publish more and more features which will help us to build more complex scenarios using Agent Builder. But if you ask me today, N8N is still very powerful automation tool to build your automation. Let me know what is your thought. So if you like this video, please hit the like icon. Please share this video with your friends, with your colleagues, so that they came to know about this new feature which came very recently, couple of weeks back. In next couple of weeks, I'll be publishing more videos implementing different use cases by using this agent workflow. So if you don't want to miss, I highly recommend please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that every time I'll publish a new videos, you'll be the first person to be notified. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.